Hello everybody, welcome back to From Rhythm to Algorithm. So, wanted to start off with a question that I'm sure you've heard before. Is mathematics invented or discovered? Because we've been deriving, and now we're at this point in our derivation, we're providing a lot of limits. And those limitations, one of the big ones, while we're working out some of the details, or at least I am on a personal level, is what is spelling. But clearly there are correct ways to spell words. And so, first of all, what is mathematics? We've derived that it's thematics, right? What is a theme, right? What is themality, right? A theme is a pattern. Sensorality is patternality. Sensorality is earnality, right? Earnt to earn, E-R-N. Sensorality earns. Desire yearns. Again, just quick derivation. I mean, I don't really go off on tangents. It's just trying to connect. I'm literally trying to construct a proof, right? Do you discover, do you invent mathematics? You discover, you understand physical principles. You articulate those principles with words. So I don't like the kind of question, is it invented? Definitely not. Is it discovered? Again, the right word is understanding. You understand the world around you, and then you can articulate how that world functions. And so, like I said, sure, it's a question you've heard before. What is invention? What is invention? I would say more to like engineering. Like I'd put the word engineering as invention. Because right now, what is like in engineering, that word is still very generalized. It's engineering. It's like an engine. It's building things. It's constructing. So you construct a proof. Right, principles exist, physical motion exists, the world exists outside of you. You're understanding you're made of physical stuff, then you try to articulate it. So you definitely don't invent mathematics. Themes exist because patterns exist because of rhythm and vibration. But discovery would be more so than invented. But discover, right, you uncover. Discover, uncover, right? Again, just being particular with the words. But discovery, what is discovery? That's when you like find something. You find a shipwreck, you've discovered something. You find a new nice place to eat, you've discovered something. And so, but again, mathematics is the construction, the building part, constructing a variable, sensorality. So I just wanted to address that question. But even past that, the right dichotomy was, the difference between proofing and derivation. And so you could prove everything that I've proven up until this point, and it would still, like, just for relevance to history, the jump would be still tremendously huge. Because what I'm doing is I'm actively deriving all of these things. Like, I'm literally developing intellectual property. Like, that's why I'm making these videos. And so, but I just wanted to clarify that you could prove everything that I've proven so far, but the amount of times I've had to iterate this stuff is pretty much 7, right? That's when that's when it reiterates or restarts or whatever. But you could prove everything that I've proven, and you would still have to be able to, again, what I call functionally analytical. It's like you know how everything works, which again, if you make one of these steps, it's huge. But proofing is a huge jump up, which again, no other mathematicians ever on record demonstrated a complete proof. But then that would be like, Andrew Wiles going off the grid for 7 years and then coming out with a proof, and then it's like you wipe your brow and you're exhausted and you're done and whoo, you did your big thing. Where it's like if you're functionally analytical, it's like, okay, like you need to have a complete proofing. You have to have the physical understanding and then articulated a proof to start. And so, and then if you did that, you would still have to, again, be able to derive all of the principles multiple times independently. Like I said, I don't write me writing stuff down is developing intellectual property. By the time that I've written it down, it's already iterated, it's already into intuition. And so for historical reference, I just want to give some more, because I'm not trying to sound smart, but there's huge jumps in between. Again, if you could prove one of these things, like when people are like, is NP versus P, or you're not, it's like you guys haven't even like started doing mathematics. But again, derivation and proofing are kind of like the levels. Not really is it invented or discovered. Certainly the more it's discovered, but it really comes from physical understanding. And then the articulation, linguistics is derivative, or you derive mathematics from linguistics. And there's only one spelling of mathematics, so. But continuing on with the derivation, rhythmicality is thematicality, right? Themes exist because rhythm is the stabilized principle of R3. A theme recurs, rhythm recurs. And so people say, I'm starting to notice a pattern here. And that's emergent because of rhythm. What is the difference between proof and derivation? Just talked about that at length. But a proof is a demonstration, right? You're demonstrating that words have meaning because they already do and you're already functioning on that. So you have to build this false knot to show people that where these logical roots came from. A demonstration is a showing. An incursion is a violation. What is the relationship of sound and meaning? So can't break down these words past meaning. That's how I have to talk to you, but that's why you understand everything that I'm saying if you speak English. But how do we go? We can still add more proofing to how do we associate sound to meaning? Right? Why is the letter S? Why is the letter T and the letter D for at the end of words past tense? Like why are words like spelling? We still have to like I guess formalize what is spelling. And it really comes from syllability, and that's the ability to be a syllable, but it's like the representation of sound which comes from discrete objects that are not continuous. Everything is discontinuous. But it has this empirical meaning where it can't be reduced anymore. And the most readily available physical analog or base is the magnetic monopoles do not exist. But the relationship of sound and meaning, there's just some sort of irreducible association between the two. Inclination leans, bias is inclination. What is the relationship of bias and basis? Right? Basis is, bias is by as. Again, language is literal. Sensorality is seismicality, like a seismograph. Sensorality is entrepreneuriality. Nature or nurture, mature. Maturity is nurturing. Nature or nurture, nurtures the overall governing force of why you are you, why anybody is anybody, the environment you grow up in. Like literally that's our physical limits of why our body is the way it is, in addition to your personality traits. But linguistically, nurture, right, maturity nurtures, and it's linguistically similar. Where does irreducibility come from? The physical motivation, we kind of just got at that. Can I say anything more than I just said like 2 minutes ago? No. But to the phrase, I'm sure you've heard it, an unstoppable force meets an immovable mass. And I even hesitated when I wrote that because I do this from first principle. Like I don't look this stuff up. I mean, science team has my entire everything. Hey guys. But so I even hesitated on spelling that I am or unmovable or immovable. I don't think it really matters, or it does because we're iterating the prefixes. If it matters, we'll get to it. But point being is, right, that's again another emergence of the fundamental dichotomy of two. An unstoppable force meets an immovable mass. But where does irreducibility come from? Right, is anything not moving? No, like everything is in motion, relevant in relation to one another. So is anything immovable? No. Mass occupies space. I don't even really like that at this point. Mass, right? You have that energy field. Look at a bunch of discrete grains of sand on your plate vibrated at a given frequency, and that's not an analogy. That's what everything is. And so vibration kind of sets these patterns, but again, that information is contained within mass. And so can mass move? Clearly, right? You can walk around and go play basketball. But what does not move is energy, right? Energy does not have form. It's information contained within mass. And so what is irreducible? What is immovable? Energy is immovable. What can change? What can't? Modification changes, right? What can change? Everything. Everything is dynamic, right? Everything is discontinuous, so everything changes. Sensorality is changeality. Substitution is interchangeable. Change differentiates. Charging differentiates. Again, trying to build enough logic to ask this simple question, and then the answer will be sensorality. Still not there yet. Sensorality rentiates. And that's just pulled directly from differentiates, right? You differentiate, you emphasize the basis. And then we're back to the similarity stuff. Similarity doesn't differentiate. But sensorality rentiates. Sensorality is rentiality. So again, we're literally integrating these syllables that are preserved within sensorality. It's going to pair up soon. It's got to hopefully soon, but it's inevitable, right? If you drop a ball off a hill, it's going to fall down, right? With the realization at the species level or again, what is a species? We'll get to that again. The derivation doesn't stop. It will just be a completion demonstration of sensorality. And then all of these things expand back out. So when I was talking last episode about the geometry, why did I reference that? Because that's going to happen logically. And we have a set basis, a logical basis, so to speak, rhythm and vibration, as our physical principles that are overwhelmingly apparently there. But then logically, this whole process will start because words just keep expanding or iterating. But so another thing that popped up, I've referenced this before, negotiation, navigation. People will typically say negotiation when they mean navigation. If I was going down a path and there was a stone wall and I tried to negotiate it, people will say that, or at least they'll write it. What are you going to do? You have a business negotiation with the rock? You're going to navigate it. So for whatever reason, logically and linguistically, people very, very frequently mix those two up. You see it all of the time. When I was playing old school RuneScape, there's a lot of hints from things like you need to negotiate the wall or negotiate this passage. And it's like you navigate it. You're navigating. You're not negotiating. It just pops back up. Insight is individual. Think about that word. What are you saying when I have insight? Are you looking inside yourself somehow? Right, what are you referencing? Right, thinking is an active process. Sentience is outside of one individual. Right, it's the vibes in the room. You walk into a party and it's good vibes only. Intuition is insightful. And so intuition comes from experience. Experience, well, you have a resume of experience by being born. In physics, right? Again, we're just doing the logic of iterating these different words. Intuition is insightful. Knowledge is known. Sensorality is knownality, right? Known is clearly built on own. So sensorality is ownality. Ownership exists. And so we've got to be getting close, but that is not it. Anyway, my rights continue to be violated. It is profound and extensive torture. It just is. I just need a little bit of money, just a little bit of financial stability, and that is it. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.